I did the one where Jesus is coming back and nobody's noticing him, and or they're trying to avoid him. And he's walking around disillusioned, and he's watching Reverend Ike on a series of TVs, outside a store in the rain, like a electronics store. And it's very, Chaplin-esque in the rain. And then he's like using his hand to just switch channels, and it's like a treacly Happy Days special, and he just keeps switching around. And then finally it lands on Linus describing, quoting scripture. Mm-hmm. And I thought when you cut to Jesus with a tear in his eye that people would giggle, because even though I think that's a beautiful moment, and it's the whole half hour of Charlie Brown Christmas is like my favorite half hour of television ever, but I thought I'd get a laugh by cutting to Jesus with a tear in his eye, but nothing. It was dead silence. People were genuinely touched because it's just such a powerful moment. You can't even...
So it's so funny, you weren't intending to evoke emotion.
I thought it would be a sad laugh, but I thought there'd be a laugh, I mean, the rest of the piece was very silly. He's like making Kathy Lee Gifford disappear from a Christmas special, and he's turning an evangelist into a ballerina in a tutu and humiliating him. I thought this would be like sort of poignant but funny, but nothing. Absolute dead silence at the tear, because people love that moment so much. And people were genuinely touched. And then, he's got a tear and he smiles, a sad smile. And then you see him dancing away like a Peanuts character, and Linus and Lucy kicks in. And that gets like a laugh and a cheer. Dana Carvey once said to me, I think it was him, it's like for a lot of people, it's actually the most religious experience they have during Christmas are those 30 seconds when Linus does that, because Christmas has just become this other thing, but when you stop and watch that moment, it's just and it's that way. It affects everybody. Ultimately it's just about the purity of any religious holiday. So yeah, I was always touched by it. I was a huge Linus person growing up anyway. I dressed as Linus for Halloween. Dressed as Linus for Halloween, old Jewish man. That's going to be big. And then the other one was a Charlie Brown Christmas that was like the thing that I always laughed at, which was the absurdity of how they would just wave their hands and suddenly this tiny little tree grew into this beautiful thing. So I wrote a cartoon about how they realized that waving their hands around anything would, turn anything shitty into something amazing. Like a broken old down used car would turn into a Maserati and that kind of shit.